9:46 on this Saturday morning. Time to have a little bit of fun. Carl Nelson is here from the Imagination Station, and you brought some funky new
glasses.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I'll put these on. Looking styling. What are we doing today?
I brought with me hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
You probably have this in the medicine cabinet at home, right?
Absolutely.
What do you do with it?
Put it in a cut.
Yeah.
You know, clean things off, right?
Doesn't really work that effectively for killing bacteria and cleaning out cuts.
Oh.
Actually, check out our
Right.
Facebook page. I put a posting up there about how it doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
But one of the things it does do, here, I have a hunk of raw liver. If you could just go ahead and hold that.
Thanks, Carl.
Your body as a part, I know, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Your body as a part of metabolism actually generates hydrogen peroxide in its cells.
Okay.
And it's very strong oxidizer. You want to get rid of that hydrogen peroxide. There's something called catalase. It's an enzyme in your body that will break down the hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen gas. So beef liver actually has catalase in it, and when you squirt the hydrogen peroxide on, just like on a cut, I assumed you didn't want us to like cut you or anything to show how this works, right? It generates oxygen gas, okay? And you know, it looks really impressive, like it's doing something, but again, it's kind of a myth that it actually kills any sort of bacteria or cleans the wound out.
Oh, good to know.
But you can do something really cool with this. You can drop the liver now. We're done with that.
Okay.
So what I brought with me is 35% hydrogen peroxide. This is 10 times stronger than what you have at home, hence the gloves and the glasses. You don't want to get this on your skin.
Okay.
And it gives off oxygen gas if you give it a catalyst, like catalase, or I brought a different catalyst with me. Now it's really cool because it can generate enormous amounts of oxygen gas. So we're going to trap that oxygen gas in some soap, okay?
Okay.
We'll do a nice little squirt of soap in yours. I'll do one in mine. And what we're going to do is simply pour a catalyst into this container of hydrogen peroxide. We'll break down the hydrogen peroxide into water and oxygen gas. Now, since we have soap inside here, we're hoping for something
Is this going to explode?
kind of dramatic here. I don't know. And you know what? Go ahead and hold this.
Do I need to step back here,
No,
Carl?
no, stay right where you are, but let me do mine first. Let's do a little test here. See what mine looks like, and then you can try yours. So that's the technique. Just dump it right in and see what happens.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so
Whoa.
we're releasing lots and lots of oxygen gas, okay? So why don't you go ahead and do yours now. Yours is a little bit different container. It's got, just dump it in really quick.
Okay.
Perfect. Yours is like more of a funnel. And you just generate tons and tons of oxygen that's being trapped by the soap, okay? It's like a supersized version of what kind of happens when you pour it on your body.
Sure.
Where that catalase enzyme breaks it down.
But again, we're not actually cleaning anything, if you will.
Technically, the hydrogen peroxide, when it generates this oxygen, can kind of dislodge big hunks of stuff that might be in a wound. But in terms of killing the bacteria, it's not really all that effective.
Sure.
But it is, if you stick your hand over that, you can feel it's giving off some decent
heat. Yeah.
It's an exothermic reaction, so it gives off a lot of heat when it breaks down, and it's just really cool.
So where would you see something like this concentrated?
If you wanted to be a peroxide blonde, we could add some to your hair.
Okay.
That's where you get that term from. It's used for bleaching wood pulp to make white paper. It's a little bit more environmentally friendly than bleach.
Okay.
It's used in all sorts of industrial things like that.
Nice.
But as an interesting demonstration, it's also kind of cool to generate an excess of oxygen gas.
I thought that you were going to fill up the entire screen. They wouldn't see us anymore.
Well, and you can see it's still going. I mean, it's still generating a tremendous amount of oxygen for the volume of liquid that we started with.
Carl Nelson, you never cease to amaze me, and I learn something new every single week. That's this week's Imagine It, and I'll tell you what, you guys are open today if somebody wants to come down there and enjoy, correct?
Actually, we're closed.
You are closed.
We are closed right
I'm
now.
sorry.
We'll be opening up next week. Check out our website for the dates. Okay, we're
awesome.
closed for like 3 weeks, so we can do a little cleaning and adding some new things.
See, I love to hear that. Okay, well then they're going to be open then in just a few weeks. Not open today, but if I know Carl Nelson, that means he's planning something pretty awesome down there at the Imagination
That's
Station.
right. We're getting prepared for reopening.
Well, as this continues to rise, we're going to disappear here in a moment. So that's going to do it for this week's Imagine It. We have another check of that forecast when we return.